Right. No, it turned me into an agnostic. I used to be Muslim, right? And I read the Quran and I read the Bible. I didn't read it in its entirety, but I read large portions of the Quran and the Bible, Old Testament, New Testament, etc. And I closed up the books and I thought, well, I was wrong, because once you read this, you realize this is nonsense. You can't, no logical person can actually believe these are the literal words of God. Now, we're about to prove it to you. We're going to prove it, no question, okay? If after we read you this section of the Old Testament, you still believe it is the literal word of God, you should be locked up. There's something wrong with you.
So this is from Deuteronomy 22, and it says the following when it comes to marriage violations. It says, basically, if a man rapes a female while she is in town, then they should both be executed because the man raped her, and because the woman is in town, she should have cried for help. And it's assumed that she did not cry for help and she wanted it.
So if you were raped, obviously, you know, if you have not made up, you know, fought back enough, you should be executed. Literal word of God. Okay, but it gets worse.
But if out in the country a man happens to meet a young woman pledged to be married and rapes her, only the man who has done this shall die. Do nothing to the woman, she has committed no sin deserving death. This case is like that of someone who attacks and murders a neighbor. For the man found the young woman out in the country, and though the betrothed woman screamed, there was no one to rescue her. If a man happens to meet a virgin who is not pledged to be married and rapes her, and they are discovered, he shall pay her father 50 shekels of silver. He must marry the young woman, for he has violated her. He can never divorce her as long as he lives.